Last time on Madness Calls It Forth. Facing off against Corbin Payne's second Grail Knight, the group finds the greedy alchemist Armand Kai is a dangerous villain seeking a way to use the water of the Grail to achieve eternal life. After battling the Master, Armand's mythos becomes consumed by the Aqua Regia and was transformed into a tincture, like those of his victims. Ami brought the team to face Fadi Malik at the City Library. In his test of character, they were able to acquire new information about the past and about the man who is the city, Corbin Payne. Lastly, seeking his castle, or Corbin Tower, the team run into the Fuming King, with two of his Grail Knights taken away. With only a look, Ami Ortelia is condemned with the Dolorous Stroke, which drove Armand Kai and Dr. Crystal Knight to spread havoc and pain among the citizens. We see Father John as he approaches the church. He looks visibly shaken and slowly walks up the steps to the door being opened by Martha. Martha looks at Father John with some worry, which he waves away. And as Father John takes a seat just inside the church, she looks at him and says, "Father, I have a question. I hope you don't mind my asking."
No, go ahead. What is it, Martha?
I was wondering about, immortality. About living forever. In the Bible, obviously, you live eternally in the kingdom of heaven. But I was wondering, where does someone's story end? Does it happen once or again and again? I mean, I'm sure you know we are doomed to repeat the past if we don't learn from it. And so, are we telling the same stories over and over again? Is that immortality as well?
I mean, they say that you're never truly dead until the last person says your name for the last time. As for the kingdom of heaven, that's a whole nother story to start with, but honestly, stories are... I hate to say it, I'm getting a little sick of stories, if I could tell the truth. But why this sudden interest, Martha?
I feel lost, Father, not in the religious sense or the spiritual sense, but I feel so close to dead inside. Like, I'm not following a story. I'm just a character in the sidelines. And so I was wondering, what happens when someone stops telling your story? When you no longer speak a man's name aloud, what happens to that being, that life?
Honestly, I can only tell you what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it means they get to finally rest a bit. But, Martha, follow me.
Of course.
And I'll take her to my office. I know you're still dealing with your memory loss, and I know you say that you're feeling a little empty inside. What if you had a choice in this? You say that you feel like you're on the sidelines. But what if you had a choice for your own story? Do you want to stay on the sidelines? Do you want to see what your story is? Not all of us get a chance to make that choice. And who knows, ignorance might be bliss. But I think it's unfair for you to feel this way and have no choice about it. So
I guess what I'm really asking is, if I have a choice, who is the one telling that story? Do I tell it? Or do others tell it? We read from the Bible the stories of those who came before us, but are their stories still living? Are their lives repeating? Or those who die come back in just another shell? Is my story over, and once I die, someone else will live it all over again? I don't know what I'm asking. It's a lot, I know. This isn't exactly the normal thing you talk to with your congregants, but...
I mean, I guess it comes down to, does the story live on because it's there, or is the story living because we read it? And I guess that perspective itself could be a choice that we want to make for ourselves, a decision we want to think about how the world works. And so I'll go ahead and give you that choice, Martha. I'm gonna reach into the desk and I reach for the her tincture, and I put it on the table. I'll give you that choice.
Father John, I don't know what this means.
Call it a test. We're always tested. Now, this isn't me testing you. I'm not playing God here, but I'm giving you the choice. You could either continue with how you're doing things right now, or you could face what probably is an extremely rough story.
You see her hand hover just over the necklace, the tincture that you have, and you think you hear a song off in the distance, just for the briefest of moments, and then you see her hesitate, and she says, let me think on this some more. I'm not sure what this means, Father, but I'm just not sure anymore. And that is where the scene ends. And soon the scene fades to black.
The sky is gray, times are changing. This is the end of everything, but it's hard to say goodbye. In my dreams, we were meant to be, but everything feels wrong. Just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel
Good evening and welcome to TPK Roleplay for the 8th episode of Madness Calls It Forth, a City of Mist campaign based on Knights of Paynetown. Before we begin, this is a content warning. Knights of Paynetown is a dark, noir-style campaign written by Son of Oak Studio. It deals with issues like violence, emotional trauma, death, suicide, among other disturbing themes. This particular episode has warnings for police violence, gangs, and other, well, As with the nature of stories, the campaign has historical, religious, and contemporary allusions that some viewers might find disturbing. Please note that those of us around the virtual table have given our consent to explore these topics together as respectfully as we can, but if you, the viewer, should feel uncomfortable at any point, please step away from the computer, get some air, stretch your legs, and check back in on us again later. For more information on mental health services available to you, use !get help in the chat at any time. Tonight's episode is Albion Awakens. Now, it's been some time since your encounter with Corbin Payne, and as soon as he was there, he was gone in an instant. Ortelia, you were struck down by the dollar's stroke, and obviously you've had a rough month, I would say, but we can discuss that in a moment. Lookalok, please introduce yourself and your character and tell us what has Celine Caliburn been doing in the interim.
Hi, I'm Lookalok. I'm playing Celine Caliburn, and Celine was very quiet last episode, suspiciously so, and has been remaining thus in the interim.
Cool. Really, really lush with the poetry there.
I don't know, Dean. What have I been doing?
Anything you want. If you want to do any dance activities, we can come back to you in a moment. The woman of the hour, though, Ortelia. Chrissy, please introduce yourself and let us know what Ami has been doing in the past month.
Hi guys, I'm Chrissy. I'm playing Ortelia, and yeah, she has had a very long month. It's been very tiring for her. She has probably been a little bit more isolated than normal. Not coming out from her flat unless prompted to do so, and even then would probably look a little worse for wear, a little more tired, and a little bit more exasperated than normal. She has been, the last handful of games, she has been kind of like doomsday prepping, in an attempt to like prepare for the impending bad things. Now that the bad thing has shown up, she is now more or less feeling as though she has to prepare for something similar to like a war. So it has moved less into prepping for bad things and more into preparing for the bad things. She has been attempting...
Gone from scared something will happen to knowing something will happen?
Yeah.
Before we move on, can I ask you one question about Ami?
Sure.
How closely is she connected to her parents during this time?
Probably connected to Dad more than Mom.
Okay.
But she would at least be in contact with them. I wouldn't say like hyperly contacted, but she would definitely be.
She wouldn't be avoiding them.
She wouldn't be avoiding them. Correct.
Okay, good to know. Actually, I should have. Oh, we'll come back to you in a second, Celine. Next up, we have Legendary Vermin. Please introduce yourself and tell us what your character's been up to.
Hey everybody, I'm Legendary Vermin, and tonight I'm playing Lexi Wojciechowski, also known as the Grendel's mother. Lexi has been spending a lot of time at the bar, specifically like looking for people that she has done any kind of harm to in the past and finding small ways to like make their lives better.
Okay.
She's still sitting in kind of the background of things. She plays the piano and nobody really recognizes that it's Lexi, while Graham is more or less running the show. So she's sidelined herself to better observe the people of the docks.
One day, Lexi, while you are taking a break from the bar, you wander down the street towards the city and notice for what you feel like is the first time, but on second thought, remember that you've seen it thousands of times at this point and just never thought about it much. There is a stone wall that is crumbling and falling apart. It runs along the border between your part of the city and the rest of the city that surrounds the docks in a way. You had a name for that part of town. What was it called again?
Soto?
I think it was Soto, yeah.
Yeah.
So this wall looks ancient. Something like, it's been here for hundreds of years and the city was built all up around it. And it runs all around Soto. But in pieces, it's crumbling and falling apart. And as you stare at it, people walk you by and don't notice you. Moving on, we have Ekaj the Orc. If you want to introduce yourself and let us know what John has been doing in the past month.
Hey folks, Ekaj the Orc playing Father John, aka Job, aka the Saddled Man. I think honestly after the last encounter, he's not sure what to do, and he's been texting Ami a few times to try and hear from her without any luck, possibly. But I don't know. I think honestly he's probably been spending some time with Lexi to kind of deal with some shit.
And actually, I should have asked Lexi and John. I think you are both working on the same thing during your downtime. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Working on your secret pain. So please make sure that you have marked off one of those levels of wounded. I think, John, you may be the last person to actually... Did I make that up? Are you doing that, or did I just instill that into the story?
If I'm marking one off, I guess that puts me at 4 wounded.
Okay.
I think.
What does working on your secret pain look like to the two of you? You've been chipping away at slowly, making apologies and making things better with your people in your city, Lexi. But John, what does working on your secret pain look like?
I think a lot of it's just kind of accepting what's happened, and it was a big one. In case anyone didn't catch the last episode, it was a big one. So I think it's honestly just talking with Lexi, because I think they're both kind of going through this together, and I don't know if it's her telling me about her family and me telling her about my family, or
I think the visual shorthand that we would get in a TV show is us talking at a cafe on a rainy day, and then walking up to where they're buried and setting down flowers.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Together.
I do like that.
I do have to say, though, this time you visit their grave together, it is back to the way it was before.
Yep.
Anyway, Celine, have you thought of anything you're doing during the downtime, or are you good for now?
I'm good for now. I mean, not enough, I think, changed for me mechanically
Okay.
between. So
I do need to ask you one thing. After your most recent visit with your mother, how connected are the two of you?
you mean my grandmother?
Sorry, your grandmother, you're correct. Your mother is dead. That was established. That's not usually
No,
by the
wait.
way, your mother's dead now. Haha. No.
Close is not a word that I think she would even encourage or entertain. It's not that kind of relationship. We have an understanding and we work closely, and she helped form me into the person I am. And she has a lot of expectations for me, and I have a lot of respect for her, but it is not one of closeness, and I think a lot of people would consider it to be.
Okay. Celine.
Yes.
How does your grandmother contact you?
Oh, she would have someone contact me. Only in the most dire of circumstances would she actually pick up the phone and dial me herself. She would have whoever is working for her, her right hand, her Girl Friday kind of thing, like, get me on the phone.
Okay. You get a call late one night, very late. You know your grandmother better than I do, but something tells me she doesn't go to bed as early as she ought to. And yet you received this late at night one day, out of the blue. You get a call from one of the footmen, I guess, the butler or whatever of the household, asking for you to come visit and speak to your grandmother.
Okay, I will just let them know that I am on my way.
So you do go?
Yes.
You arrive back in your grandmother's terrible, terrible office. It is past midnight at this point. And she looks at you disappointed after your most recent conversation with her. But you can tell that she still thinks she has something over you. Celine, I know you are troublesome, but the city councillor in Whitecliff needs your assistance. I would go myself, but I simply cannot.
Assistance.
I have put quite a lot of money into City Councillor Ricci's campaign. I think she has great potential in this city. And currently, she is in Whitecliff working to clean up the streets. And one of her constituents was attacked last night by a gang of gangsters, I think. I want you to look into it. Councillor Ricci is an important woman in the city.
Jim, what would I know about Eleanor Ricci?
Eleanor Ricci is exactly as she says. She is she's in charge of a small part of the city called Whitecliff. You probably would know that your mother has put a lot of money into her campaign, and that part of the city has seen an uptick in violent crime. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Okay.
And so she hands you an address for the Double Dragon Chinese restaurant and says, I would look into this. This kind of behavior is not something I want my political candidates to have to deal with on a regular basis. I know you know a few ruffian types. So I was hoping you might be able to go in and calm their nerves. She'll also give you the name. Let's see. We have Min and Jia Wu, the owners of the Double Dragon restaurant.
So just to be clear, grandmother, you would like me to associate with these ruffians in order to...
Oh,
complete this
heavens
task?
no, dear. I need you to chase them out of town, start a charity for the Concerned Citizens Committee, that kind of thing.
Business as usual.
Yes.
Of course, I will see to it. I will get it cleaned up.
That is all, dear. Leave.
Thank you.
Speaking of which, Father John, how deeply are you connected with the underground of gangs and mobs these days?
I think he's realized that there's bigger things to worry about, so... And I think kind of dealing with what he's dealing with is just the letting go of that kind of vengeful drive that he had to dig up the underground.
Interesting.
As for if they like still come around and do like confessional or something like that, that's up to you. But I imagine things in the city are kind of crazy at this moment.
Give me 1 second. Please take crack on Crash and Burn. Moving on. Lexi, you are still at least somewhat connected to the mob in your part of town.
Sure am.
I just see all my players just freaking the fuck out as I just go from person to person asking ominous questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's say that you see that your son Graham, while tending bar, seems concerned, or like his mind is elsewhere. Would you... How is your relationship with Graham right now? Are you talking about these kinds of things, or are you...
I think after his partial induction into a cult, if anything, Lexi is restraining herself from full helicopter.
Okay.
But yeah, if she sees that something's going on with Graham, she's gonna go talk to him.
He tells you about a rumor that he's heard while tending bar the last few weeks, about a new gang in town called the Errants. Errants. Let's see. They are locals or have recently moved into Whitecliff, which is a lower middle class neighborhood that's not doing too well, and there's a bit of a turf war right now going on between the Errants and the local gang, which are colloquially known as the Scoonies.
I'm sorry. The Scoon... You're gonna have to give me a little bit of an etymology on that one.
I wish I knew. SKOONIES. But tell me, are you still tied into... Do you think you would know about the other gangs and criminal organizations in the city still?
Yeah. Reformed more or less. Like, she's always keeping her ear to the ground, but is trying to maintain plausible deniability as much as possible.
Then you would know that the Scoonies are known for their stealthy guerrilla tactics. They have been in Whitecliff for a very long time. I can change the name of that gang if you hate it.
No, it's Ecash posted Scoonies never say die in chat.
What is this? Anywho, they're one of the oldest gangs in that district, and word on the street is that the Scoonies have entrenched themselves in the local sewers, and that the Errants are having trouble rooting them out. I'll leave it there.
Okay, they're in the sewers, and the Errants are trying to flush them out, but it's not working.
Correct.
Could you give me the name of somebody who I might know of as not necessarily high leadership, but like a lieutenant in the Scoonies?
The Scoonies? Let's find you a name. I'll work on it and get back to you when I can, okay?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay. I think that is it. Where do you guys want to begin?
I would assume Celine would be reaching out to us.
I guess so. To say that new medication I tried, definitely don't recommend it. I've completely lost a couple months.
Yeah, you had a really
Couple
glossy,
months. Jesus, Celine.
Well, like you said, what have we been doing for the last month? And it's like, oh shit, it's been a month. I have no idea.
Yeah, you had a real glossy look in your eyes last time we saw you.
Honestly, the pain medication for my arm, it did make me a little bit fuzzy. I shall not be taking that again. And I have had a word with the doctor that recommended it. I do have things to tend to. I cannot be that fuzzy. So, what's new with you?
I don't know, did you call us to just catch up and see how things are going?
I'm not gonna say that you guys could have did some communicating in the group chat in the past literal month, but I'm gonna say it.
Could have. But to be fair, every time I was like, "What happened?" y'all were like, "You won't believe it," and it's like, you're right. I don't.
Hey, now,
what was it?
I gave a recap.
So I heard Ami's a bad guy now, but apparently as of I don't actually know that in character. So
Well, you tell me. Chrissy, have you had much contact with the gang?
She wouldn't have avoided them. She wouldn't be avoiding anybody, but she definitely wouldn't have been reaching out. Like, if people were asking her to go grab tacos, she would have went and grabbed tacos. But she would not have been, like, actively seeking out too much company. So if they were, I mean, if folks wanted to, you know, if Father John was texting her, she would have been responding, you know.
And can they tell anything's up, or are you just feel seeming
I just look
antisocial lately?
Yeah, I just look, and because to be fair, Ami probably doesn't fully understand what's happening either. So, like, she's not going to be able to be like, hey guys, got hit with this big thing. I think I'm in my villain arc. Like, she, you know, she wouldn't have been like, oh man. She just knows that whatever happened in that moment has, like, really had an effect on her moving forward.
I think the only thing that Lexi would have known how, Lexi has since organized a bowling night. But it's met with middling success.
I will absolutely show up to that, having purchased my own shoes, which I keep in like little coverings that you wear over the bottom of the shoes for when you're outside, and then you slip them off when you get inside and very tidily tuck them away, ready to bowl. I use the 7-pound ball.
This is not the story I was expecting tonight, but I'm loving the bowling adventure halfway through, or 3/4 of the way through the season.
Oh yeah, we're starting a bowling league. That's the
That's
plot now.
the new plot.
Yeah.
Forget Corbin Payne.
No, we're gonna
It's
play
all
Corbin
about
Payne's team for the championship.
Watching me
Oh,
try
Lord.
and deal with the grease from the pizza that they bring out to our table at the bowling alley is just very much like,
Just Celine like pat it with a paper towel first.
oh, absolutely. She uses like 3 of them. Mm-hmm.
I'm shocked that Selena's not using Excalibur as the bowling ball.
I was about to say, is a bowling ball a weapon, but you're not
But
wrong.
no, I would use the swirly pink ball that's only 7 pounds, normally reserved for children.
Last important question. Does Celine use bumpers?
Not after I would have at first, thinking that it was a feature of the game that no one takes advantage of, but after someone politely explains to me what bumpers are typically used for, I would have insisted the next game to take.
It wasn't polite.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that I was just doing well at this game naturally.
I really want to give you attention for never show weakness, but that's just a joke.
So we're at bowling meetup and we're kind of just talking about things, and all of a sudden, we find ourselves talking about business yet again.
I appreciate you, Vermin.
Amidst the crash of pins and constant cursing, as Lexi is not a good bowler.
Dabbing
cover.
my pizza.
No one can hear us talking over the sound of the alley. So it's
I'm
it's
sorry,
like playing
audience.
music someone
I did
hears.
not prepare bowling alley ambiance for this particular episode. So you get this jazzy mystery music. Anywho,
You know, for next time.
I'm gonna go for a strike and roll hit with all you've got.
do it, you won't.
Gotta see how this panned out.
I think I pulled my sciatica. It's a 6.
Wow, you go straight into the gutter. No, better yet, because it's a 6, you go right down the middle, and at the very end it curves down and misses all of the pins.
John's like, yeah, that's about par for the course with how things are going lately. So, getting back on track. Is there any developments in this whole Corbin Payne thing? That's anybody looked into it in this past month?
I've been busy. There's something going on in Whitehall.
White hell?
You mean Whitecliff?
Whitecliff. That's what I mean. I said the
also
right thing in
have heard
character.
Something. I have been tasked with looking into it on behalf of a local word I can't remember. A local
Benefactor?
government employee.
Politician?
A
Politician reached out to you?
no, on behalf of a local politician, I've been asked to look into some trouble they've been having there.
Well, thank you to Mr. Saito for the donation.
Oh.
I have yet to even do one of these on this show, so I'll get back to you on that one.
I'm gonna show up in my bowling shoes next session.
You better.
I will go put them on right now.
So what's going on in Whitecliff or whatever? I don't think I've been out that ways.
Apparently there's some sort of biker gang causing trouble.
And would I know that the Errants are a biker gang?
Yeah, I could say that.
Yeah. Sounds like the Errants. They're having a turf squabble with the... Wow, I've got nothing. Scoonies.
Goonies. Never say die.
They're having a turf squabble with the Scoonies. It's... Sounds like it's spilling out of just a gang thing into a, well, if it's fucking up stuff for regular people, it's worth at least me going and checking on it.
Well, I have to go there anyway, so we might as well all go together.
What I'll say for the donation real quick, because I have yet to really have to do this because no one's donated anything in the last 7 episodes. I will give you each your choice of an item. It'll be tier 3, and you can use it as a tag moving forward. So similar to preparing for the next activity of getting juice, you get a free item of some sort when you need it. No need to claim it now, but it's a tier 3 item whenever you have a need for something that you would hypothetically have on you.
How How permanent is it?
Well, according to the reaction board, it's permanent, so it's very permanent. I trust you, but just like make it make sense. Because we're not in D&D, so it can't be like, and you find in a dead body a magical sword. I don't want to know what that means, Vermin, but I'm excited for it, whatever that means.
Father John pulls out the Spear of Destiny.
We already have one spear coming up. Shall we transition? I'm waiting for someone to tell me where they want to start.
I think after talking about that, if Celine would... I just suggested that we all go to Whitecliff together to look into it. Did we say that Ami was coming to the bowling night, or just showing up for the occasional taco?
Yeah, if she would have been invited, she would have definitely gone. She was probably drinking a lot of beers, not saying much, but when you guys mentioned going to need to do some work, she would agree to go along. Again, not being like necessarily defiant, just not like, let's go do the thing. She's not Dora Exploring it.
Valid. Let's grab some good music. You arrive in Whitecliff, which is, as I said, a lower middle-class kind of area on the outskirts of the city. Kind of a similar vibe to Sodo. Sorry, just saw Luca's comment. And so, it's a pretty generic part of town. You see the police precinct 63 has a building in town. There's a few downtown shops and restaurants. And in fact, as you drive through the center of Whitecliff, you see what looks like a large open area, a big green area, filled with thriving plants. And a low stone wall surrounds the entire thing. It's flourishing with vegetables and fruits, and it takes up a large portion of downtown area at this point. Passing...
Hey, sorry, is it like a crumbly old fence wall that nobody notices?
It is not crumbly, no.
Are people noticing it?
Are you noticing it?
I mean, You're taking a minute to describe a wall, and we didn't establish this, but like the way you described that other wall, I imagine there's not even like a lot of graffiti on it, which would be a staple of most vertical surfaces in the docks.
I'd probably say there would be graffiti on the other wall.
Okay.
But that one's falling apart and grimy and covered in moss and graffiti. But this one is not newly constructed. It still looks a little old, but it's definitely been established to surround this garden. And as you drive through the downtown of Whitecliff and into the suburbs area, you stumble upon Double Dragon Chinese Restaurant. The doors have been smashed in, and the windows are cracked. There are wooden planks that have been nailed in over the windows and over the door. There is an apartment on the second floor, and in the very front of the building, there is a I'm trying to think what it's called. Hold on. There is a painted general, like a Chinese general. He is a big, figure that's painted in a mural at the front of the Chinese restaurant.
So, do you have a contact that you're supposed to get in touch with then, Celine, or?
I was given the name of the owners here, Mina and Jaja Wu, I believe, and I will walk up to the hostess and just ask, "Hi, yes, may I speak to Mina or Jaja?"
Who are you talking to?
To
The doors were like busted open, right?
Yeah, the whole business is closed.
Oh, I got a mural, and Chrissy was talking about swords, so I was distracted by the mural thing. Well, then I'm going to absolutely walk up and try and push open the busted doors
Okay.
with my sword.
You busting out, are you busting out, Excalibur?
I'm sorry, GM. Chrissy asked me how I pronounce sword, and it broke my brain a little. Yes, I will absolutely, just form from my bracelet, my misty sword, and try and, like, slice through any sort of lock that may be, like, chains or anything around the handles, if this place is closed down.
Okay. You smash through the boards that have closed up this Chinese restaurant and enter the rubble that remains inside Double Dragon. You can see on the walls someone has put graffiti all over the place of swords and dragons and the like. And while you are here, if you want to investigate the scene, let me know.
Can I investigate? Go ahead.
Sorry, I have a relevant question about the kind of dragon.
Okay.
Is it a dragon with 4 legs and a couple wings? Or is it a long snaky style dragon?
Are you asking European or Asian dragon, basically?
Yeah.
European.
GM, can I tell how long this place seems to be shut down for? Like, has been shut down for? Because you're talking about rubble and things like that.
When I say
feel
rubble,
like
I
was
really
very-
mean, like, you know, all the tables have, the tables are all shoved in one corner, and, like, plates and glasses have been broken, and someone
'Cause I
came
feel
in
like
here
that was
while the
pretty
business is
recently.
open. Very recently. You can tell it's probably only been a few days.
Yeah.
I will
okay.
say that you can tell, I'll say right off the bat, you can tell that it's extensive. Like, this place will be closed for a while they rebuild, but mostly superficial.
Does Ami recognize any of the scene that she's seeing on the walls from any of her research into any type of... Because she's been doing a lot of research up until the last month or so. This last month, she had
What are you looking for?
stopped researching. Like, if she recognizes the scene that has been depicted in the graffiti, if there is an attempted one, or what maybe they are trying to accomplish by drawing European dragons in a Chinese restaurant.
If you or Celine want to investigate, feel free.
I'll let Chrissy do it if she's looking at it specifically.
Okay, yeah, let's see. How do I do that? Let's go with investigate. I'm gonna look for some details. 10.
Okay.
So now I have to ask questions, which is a real pain in the dick because I always mess up the question.
What I should do is I should
So
just
does
take the
anyone have any-
questions from Monster of the Week and just, like, post those somewhere. Because they're mostly good questions, honestly.
I would love that.
Or if you just want to give me a vibe, ask a question about what you said you were looking for earlier. You said you're looking for connections with the graffiti?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get I'm just trying to vibe check it. Like, are they trying? Is it depicting a scene of like two dragons fighting and like what is the scene that I'm looking at, or is it just like random swords with like, or do the swords have inscriptions on them? Like,
I'll tell you that similar to the question that Lexi asked, these are very European-looking swords. You know, knights and whatnot, slaying dragons. One of the dragons does have a sword sticking out of it, as if it had been slain, and there doesn't seem to be any connection with the fact that it's a Chinese restaurant in any way. However, what you will notice is that something is glowing, and it is standing over you. It is coming from the direction of the door that you smashed in.
Define standing over us.
You will notice that behind you, as you turn around and notice the glow, the guardian that was the Chinese general that was painted near the front door has come to life as an apparition and is standing around you, ready to attack. Father John, since you haven't said anything about what you're doing in the scene, I'll say you're at the back. Please roll to avoid a hit. I forget what that's called in this game, of course.
Face danger?
That one.
All right, let's do that one.
Before you do that, I should tell you what status you are facing off against. He has a big club in his hands, and you're going to be facing off against Staggering 3. Let me know what you roll for your face danger roll.
Mild success, a 7.
Okay, on a mild success, you take the status with -1 tier. You're going to take Winded 2 as from behind something smacks you on the side of the head and you fall to the ground. The rest of the team, what are you doing?
Immediately, readying my sword in a defensive position. If Father John goes down, I am going to step over near him with my sword raised at this glowing guardian thing.
I would love to scoop up John, just throw him over my shoulder, and try to get him out of there.
Okay. Sounds like what you're trying to do is go to, change the game. Well, no. You're just going to do what you just said, because there's no reason why you should have to. So you pick him up, and are you trying to leave? Are you trying to escape this thing?
It's between us and the door, right?
Between you and the front door, yes.
I think Lexi's gonna wait for one of her companions to make the first move because, she doesn't know if John is actually, safe right now. I guess he's immortal, but, she still worries.
I got hit with a car at one point and walked away.
But you were awake when it happened. I don't think this thing wants us to be in here. Maybe we should get in touch with the owners outside.
Guess we're gonna get outside though.
Okay, I'm going to lean down, Father John, and just kind of put a hand up to help him up. Still.
Oh no, he's over my shoulder.
Oh, he is. Okay.
I just lifted him. I just picked him up.
Then all right, then very much okay, we will doing the backup thing. Let's see if it will let us leave.
It's going to pace after you, so let me know how you're trying to escape.
Slowly, with not turning my back to it. Looking very much like a... But, with a sword out.
Yeah. Hanging, over the shoulder, maybe the kitchen.
Yeah, is there a back exit we can stay facing him and make our way
Yeah, so you push your way through the swinging doors into the kitchen, and he follows after you. And as soon as the four of you have stepped back outside, he will hesitate for a second before vanishing into thin air again.
Lex, I know you've been hanging out for the last month quite a bit, but you can put me down.
Bop.
Thank you. I appreciate you, you know that, but...
Somehow in my head, I got under the impression that you got knocked the fuck out.
Like,
I think John's
thought
at the
you
point
were-
where he didn't argue. He just, like, accepted it. Just like, yeah, okay, this is how the night's going.
So, anyone have any ideas on how we can get in touch with the owners without going inside?
can
Did
I
your-
look ar-
Politician leave contact info?
No, it was mostly just to contact those owners via this restaurant, so I was hoping to gain some sort of information by looking around the back office. GM, can I go around to the back door and like see if there's like some sort of notice posted on it? Like maybe a note left for employees that are showing up or anything, or hey, are you looking for us? We will reopen at this time. Please call us with any questions.
I'll say if you're looking around now, you'll see a similar thing to their voicemail message that they are closed for the time being and look forward to serving you in the future. But they don't have a date of when they are likely to reopen. But you will see, as you're looking around for some other way to get into the building, someone is looking at you through the blinds. And as soon as you look up, they close it again and disappear.
There is someone inside.
Is there a fire escape on the side of the building?
Oh, sorry, did you ask me a question? You're very quiet, Chrissy.
Yeah, is there a fire escape on the side of the building?
Sure.
All
Look
right.
at you go. Is there a back exit? Is there a fire escape? Is there nothing Ami can't do tonight?
I mean, you should know me better. If you say there is, I'll be like, yeah, there is probably.
Do we all see the person watching us, or is that only something that Celine noticed?
I would immediately like kind of point just as subtly as I could and just say that someone was peeking through the blinds and there is in fact someone inside.
It's a good thing there's a fire escape right here. That's super convenient.
Lexi is gonna like get under the fire escape and kind of chin to Ami to be like, I'll boost you up.
Yeah, she will walk over and boost up.
Boost.
Boop.
You scramble up the fire escape, and it leads up to one of the windows on the second floor near the apartment. What is even happening right now?
We got another donation
Oh my.
from Mr.
Well, we got two donations at the same time, so I'm very confused.
I think Mr. Silo is describing the breakdown for the...
Gonna lurk now. Take care, everyone. $5 times... Wait, no. Yeah, it's $5 times 25 equals 125 plus 25 for the house. Okay. Very cool. Thank you very much, Mr. Seto. Have a lovely evening.
We're gonna try not to die.
We're gonna be fine.
It'll be fine.
Uh,
Can I look back in the window that was just looking out at us?
Sure, it's blinds.
Well, yeah, but like there's always one blind that's like crooked
Okay.
or flipped the wrong way.
Sure, let's do that.
Everyone has one of those. Everyone has a cat that annoys the blinds.
Totally.
There's a section of the blind missing.
Yep.
They're the reason why you don't get your deposit back. It is what it is. We all accept it.
It's where the guardian spirit ghost was like resting in the windowsill.
Yeah.
It's called the landlord's blind.
So, you will see. Let's see how many. You will see an elderly couple with a few folks kind of milling. Someone is pacing back and forth in the hallway, and as soon as someone eyes you out the window, they're gonna rush to the window and open up the blinds and start yelling at you through the window.
Are you the woos?
You see someone slide open the window and say, "What are you doing here? Why are you looking in my window?"
Okay. Question still stands. Are you one of the woos? I'm looking for the woo family. Or a couple of woos.
Listen, you get out here. Why are you hanging around our house? How do you know us?
I'm going to start sliding a leg into the window if the window is open.
You're just gonna walk into their house now?
I'm just gonna stick my leg in there because if they're gonna try to close the door or the window, then I'm gonna be in it and they're not gonna be able to. Unless they're really terrible people, and in which case I'll tell them that they're very terrible people.
Valid. They are taking uncooperative too. And
Celine, I think diplomacy has failed.
Well, to be fair, you sent the wrong one. We should have probably boosted Celine.
She's got bad knees.
Yeah, I'm not climbing in a window. I will
you're gonna hear
place my way through the front
Celine.
door
You okay?
like a normal civilized person.
As you enter the scene as well, Celine, the woos, Jaja and Min, are both looking at you, exasperated and confused. And one of them says, "You know, I know the city councillor. I'm gonna call the police on you people."
Oh no, it's okay. You don't have to do that, I promise. It's okay. I have a friend. She knows all of those people. She can call them all directly. Give me 2 seconds. We can get her to get them on the horn. And I'm gonna slide my second leg into the window. So I'm just sitting on the windowsill. I'm not going into the space yet. Just sitting there. My legs, sometimes they go numb if I keep them in the wrong direction, you know, like sleepy legs, so I just stretch them out, no big deal. Celine, do you mind? I found your friends.
Yeah, are you stuck?
No, nope. I'm good. They just won't. I mean, can I?
I'm just
in?
gonna
And I'm
awkwardly
ask
call
them if I
out
can
like,
come in.
"Hello, dear Woo family. I am here on behalf of Elaine Ricci.
Eleanor Ricci.
Eleanor. Oh, I'm so close. Eleanor Ricci.
I'm giving you that name because you would have known it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Celine absolutely would. Just so sorry about the awkward manner in which we are entering your property. We thought this place was abandoned. And I will come closer up to the window so that I may be heard better.
Okay, Celine, you hear, "Oh yeah, you know, Councillor Ricci. Well, tell her that if she doesn't get a hold on the security in this gosh darn town, then, we're cutting all funding for her. You hear?"
Oh, terribly sorry. Yes, we are here to help with your security concerns.
Even though it seemed
And I'm
like
going
you
to
had
glance around. Please, if you wouldn't mind helping our companion in, and then just opening the back door for us, and disabling your guardian.
Could you please roll to convince someone, please?
Yeah. Let's see. Convince. Alright, hold on. I still have the, There we go. Oops.
I didn't mean to roll that. I clicked it on accident trying to...
Okay, hold on. I have a +5 for some reason, so minus that, and it's a 12.
Okay.
Reset. It should not
It's
be
still a
that
12,
high.
though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Someone's gonna... kind of a younger guy is gonna wander in and say, Grandma, please, just put down the phone. I think they're here to help us. And you will see, why can I not remember who this is? So you'll see the woman, Jaja, will put the phone back down on the little holster, the little home phone thing, and just say, who are you people, and why are you here?
We are here to help with your security issues. I will say deliberately not answering the first part of that question.
You're talking about the biker gang that came here and smashed up our restaurant.
The Errants, yeah.
Yes.
You know of these people?
Wouldn't be good at dealing with security concerns if we didn't.
Well, let me tell you. The Concerned Citizens Council has already organized a volunteer task force to take care of risks like these, and City Councillor Eleanor Ricci is not doing her duty. You hear me?
I'm hearing that you're feeling unsafe and that you feel like you have to take matters into your own hands. Is that about right?
She will approach you. Lexi, are you in the room by now?
If they'll let me know where the front door was. Because while Lexi is fully capable of jumping and just like pulling down the ladder, clearly this has upset somebody and these people are supposed to be here.
So we'll say you are wandering up the front steps. Someone has let you into the building. And as you enter the room, Jaja is going to approach you very closely and kind of keep her voice down to prevent others from listening in. And she'll say to you, now I'm here to protect my family. And they didn't hurt anyone here, but they were like, I don't know, on horses. These biker gangs, they looked like knights. They're knights on horses as they trampled into my restaurant. And let me tell you, I put a curse on one of them. They'll be sneezing for days. I'm sorry about the Guardian. Gotta keep my family safe in these times. Whole bunch of businesses have been destroyed by these ruffians, these errants as you call them.
Now, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I hope I don't put it too indelicately. Have you been paying protection money to any gangs in the area?
No, of course not.
No shame in it. Just worth knowing. It sounds like there is a dispute happening between a couple of the local gangs, and it sounds like it's really made you and your family and a few other businesses around here feel pretty unsafe. So why don't you walk us through what happened, and if you can, just let us know anything you know about the other businesses that were targeted.
It was 3 days ago. It was in broad daylight. And these 5 bikers with helmets, you couldn't see their faces, they rode in and they started shouting and behaving aggressively, and they turned over tables and they smashed everything inside my restaurant. When they were done, they said, tell Mayor Ricci that she doesn't rule Whitecliff anymore. Now we donate to Mayor to City Councillor Ricci's, to her campaign every year, and obviously, if these kinds of disasters keep happening, I'll be stopping all of my donations. She is a regular in this restaurant, and we appreciate her business, but if she can't do her job correctly, then what are we paying her for? Now, Calvin Cirrus, that man with the CCC, he's got a good grip on things, I think.
Calvin who?
Calvin
And
Cirrus.
there's a pointed look over at Ami and Celine at that. Would either of them know?
Yes, would we?
Let's see.
You know people who have the rich stuff.
We've been in those circles.
Then you don't.
Oh.
Unless you have a power attack you want to invoke here, that
Oh,
makes
I
sense.
have contacts in every neighborhood.
Okay, then. Who do you know in Whitecliff, then?
Well, I run charitable organizations everywhere, but specifically I have clinics, outreach clinics in every neighborhood and borough, through which a lot of time I spend very much out of my traditional, very obvious and glamour wear, just kind of talking to everyone there. I spend a lot of time one-on-one with everyone that comes in. So it's very possible I would at least know of this person.
Okay. I'll say this, that you know, kind of as Jaja has said, that Calvin Cirrus is kind of an up-and-coming young, I don't want to say upstart, but basically he has kind of taken the neighborhood under his wing, very similar to how Lexi has, and he runs the Concerned Citizens Committee, which is a group of people who are trying to, I don't know, clean up the streets, as they might say. They are concerned that the police and that the city councilor are not doing their job, and they have created a neighborhood watch, and he is in charge of that.
Okay. If Lexi looks over at me to, with eyebrows kind of raised, I will explain, very much that. I will pass along that information.
And this Calvin, what does this organization do? Is there watch groups, or is there a phone tree?
Oh, I'm sure he takes care of all those things. He's lived here most of his life, and he just cares about the neighborhood. And I thought that Eleonora would be good enough to care about Whitecliff, seeing as she runs this part of the city. But I thought Calvin Cirrus was all hot air until this happened, and I realized that Eleanor doesn't care about citizens like me.
I mean, weren't we asked to come here on their behalf? To help out? Wasn't that...
You never said who you were again. How do you know me and my family?
We were sent on behalf of Eleanor to look into things and see what we could do to help.
Well, then you tell her she's not doing her job.
Absolutely. After, of course, we try and deal with this issue.
Well,
Yes?
I'm sorry for putting this bluntly. I don't really have a way with words, but when you say that you don't think she's doing her job, what exactly are you imagining she should have done in this instance? What were you looking for that she didn't deliver on?
Well, why is the police letting roaming gangs of cyclists into our town to torment the citizens?
Sorry, use of the word cyclists there is very funny to me. It's a pretty different picture. Understood. Thank you for your time. If anything else happens, and Lexi will kind of pull out a notepad, write down her number, and hand it to the old woman. You just give us a call, and we'll be over as fast as we can, okay?
Okay. Now
Thank you
leave.
for your time.
You've interrupted our day long enough as is. Good day. And with that, we will have a quick break, as I need to give my players a break, because we've been playing for a couple hours. So I will see you all back momentarily. Hello and welcome back to Madness Calls It Forth. Last we left our adventurers, they had discussed a break-in to the Double Dragon Chinese restaurant with the Wu family, and now we're heading out into Whitecliff. Tell me, what do you want to do now?
Well, they had mentioned that committee, that group of citizens
Okay.
that one of the Woos was mentioning.
You can visit the CCC headquarters, the Concerned Citizens Committee. Anyone else have any requests?
Yeah.
I want to talk to my contact in Scoonies, who we established off screen is named Isaac Holt.
Lovely. Anything else? Cool. Let's start with the Concerned Citizen Committee. You're gonna find a, let's see. Near the center of town, near the garden in the center of town, there is a small business that, at one point might have been a convenience store or something that has now been converted into a small area for the CCC. There's volunteers that are walking around, and they are busy doing several things. Some people are coming in and out from the community garden across the street. And let's see who you meet first. So a volunteer is going to walk in wearing a straw hat and holding a pitchfork. She has a big sack of turnips, and as she comes in with dirt caking her fingers, she places it in the corner as she kind of combs her hair back and goes, "Oh, hello, welcome in. I'm sorry, we don't have a receptionist of any kind right now. We're mostly volunteers, but can we help you with something?"
I believe we just recently heard of a group of people, a Concerned Citizens Committee that meets
us.
up. Oh, okay. Did you by chance have a meeting happening anytime soon, or maybe
we don't have a whole lot of meetings. I mean, we have one once every month or so, but we're doing a lot of things around town at the moment, so it's more of a community group.
Okay.
And so, in fact, I just come back from the community garden across the street. A lovely initiative installed by the CCC, and it's been very good for the community, getting us all together, providing local food for restaurants and such. It's a good time. Were you looking for someone in particular, or?
More just trying to get information, because I believe I've been hearing rumors about groups of ne'er-do-wells causing trouble in town. I wasn't sure if that might be something that the committee might know more about, or if there's something that they're doing specifically to take the initiative, so to speak, or what.
You've heard about them then. I hear they're calling themselves the Errants, motorcycle gang. You can't see their faces, obviously, but they've been hitting up local restaurants and generally causing property damage and sowing fear. Pardon the gardening pun. But they seem to be, the word on the street is they're clearing out Whitecliff. Trying to get rid of whatever gangs used to be here, and they want to rule the streets.
There's more than just the one gang? What? I didn't...
Well, I mean, any kind of criminal activity. I don't know much about that, let's just say, but I mean, gangs have always preyed on Whitecliff. It's central to the city, and well, the precinct 63 isn't very good at cleaning up crime around here.
I wouldn't think this place would be as crime-ridden as that. At first glance, it don't look like that kind of area of the city.
Sorry, what was your question there?
Oh, were there any other motivations aside from clearing out restaurants, or are they hitting places up for protection racket kind of thing, or?
I don't think that they are. I don't think they're doing anything like that. I just think they are trying to cause a tizzy in the neighborhood, and well. I mean, she'll turn to point to someone who's in the rear of the room on a computer somewhere. Chuck thinks the Errants are doing the neighborhood a favor, actually. They're getting rid of the people who are causing all the trouble, and they may be roughing up some of the neighborhood, but obviously, they're the people who would support the mayor and the police, and I don't know. I'm not totally sure which side I'm on. But if they can instill some kind of change in the community, then I mean that's what we're here for. But I mean we redid the basketball court, and we've created the public garden, and we're trying our best to do something good for Whitecliff for once, instead of just paying into the pockets of the rich.
Well, how bad were things in Whitecliff before these guys showed up?
Whitecliff has never been a good neighborhood to live in, but it's home for me, so I stick around.
All right. I think that you got any pamphlets or anything, handouts or something like that for folks. I'm not exactly from this area of town, but if things happen in one part, they can spread to another. So that's kind of why it piqued my interest.
Sorry, I'm just looking up the clues real quick.
And can I do an investigate check,
Sure.
Going over this information with them? All right. That's a 13.
Excellent. What kind of things do you want to ask?
Kind of want to get an idea of maybe territory-wise, if there's any place the Errants are usually showing up to, or.
Okay. How do you want to look into that?
Well, you mentioned that the Errants seem to be doing some kind of good for the, with however they're handling it, they're trying to do something good. Do you know if maybe there's a particular area that they're keeping an eye on, or maybe that they usually are, watching more than others or hanging out more than others?
Thankfully, I'm a bit of a green thumb myself. They haven't touched any of the garden area. They seem to be a little bit protective of it.
of the garden. Okay. Have they come around and helped out in the garden, like, green thumb and all, or are they just very, like, staking it out quite a bit?
I mean, hold on, I just found something. One sec. I mean, so what was your question again?
I'm basically just trying to like get an idea of like where their like hangout or HQ might be that they go to, or if there might be a lead as to where that might be.
Okay. I'll say this. Now I didn't tell you this or nothing, but well, we run a neighborhood watch, and so I'll just say the neighborhood watch doesn't go anywhere near the junkyard because they hang around there too much, and we don't want anything to do with the junkyard.
All right, so avoid the junkyard, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Stay close to stay close to downtown. You should be good.
All right, close to downtown, avoid the junk. All right, wonderful, great.
Oh, and the basketball court. Be careful of the basketball court. I know the law place. That's a place in town where people, where gangs get into fights a lot there.
Yeah, you mentioned that there was a second group. Is that usually like where they might be?
Yeah, I don't know much about them, but I do know that the CCC on occasion might talk to someone from either group. And, they prefer to, since the police don't want to do nothing about it, they might talk personally with someone from one of those gangs.
Okay. Well, I'll take, how about I take a pamphlet, take a leaflet, whatever you got. The more the community helps one another, community to community, the better the city will get, hopefully.
Yeah, we're always
safer
looking for
world.
volunteers. We've lost a few people in the past few weeks, but so if you want to join the CCC, we would love to have you as a volunteer. That'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
If you ever want to talk to, she'll lean over and grab a business card from one of the desks. If you ever want to talk to Calvin, he's the one in charge, but he's a bit busy, so you may need to schedule something ahead of time. But honestly, he's the one who spearheaded this whole situation.
Calvin, eh? Okay, yeah, no, I'll
He's a
definitely...
really good guy,
Yeah, what was the last name for Calvin?
Calvin Cyrus.
Cyrus, okay.
Cyrus. People call it all kinds of things. He's a good guy, though. He's the one who started the CCC.
Alright. And he'll usually be at those meetings or what? Do you know when the next one might be?
Oh, I'm not sure. You'll have to check the calendar.
Alright, yeah, the website's on here. I'll look it up.
Thank you. Well, I should be getting back. I got some more turnips to dig up, so we're getting a very good haul this year. So
Love
doing
me
good.
some turnips.
It's an acquired taste, I'm sure. So anyway, so have a good day, sir.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
And with that, we will close off the scene with the CCC. What was the other thing that oh, you wanted to talk to your contact with the Scoonies, Lexi.
Sure did.
How do you get in contact with him?
I call him on his phone like a normal person.
I leave a note on a stone overturned next to a fire hydrant.
I just wander the streets yelling, Isaac!
Just
No,
scream
I call
at
him...
the tallest mountain.
I call him and I ask him to meet me at the nearest bar that I know is like a usual hangout for Scoonies.
Okay. You're gonna run into Isaac at a kind of grungy bar, but Isaac is a very short individual, and you probably haven't seen him in years. He's a kind of middle-aged man on the very low spectrum of height, and he hops up onto one of the bar stools and starts drinking with you. And just says, okay.
How's he smell?
How does he smell?
I know the Scoonies have been holed up in the sewers. How does he smell?
Ah, yes. I'd say that he smells mostly of cigarette smoke. But there is definitely a faint ambiance of sewer stench.
Okay. I'll say, Isaac. I know you're a pack-a-day fella, but you smell like shit. Like actual shit.
Yeah, you would too if you had to spend all day in the sewers.
What's going on?
These damn Errants. They think they own the streets. We've been here for years. I don't get it. They're on a quest, they say, to transform Whitecliff. They say they want to make a beautiful, verdant kingdom that is free and just. It's all a bunch of talk to me.
Do you know anything about the businesses that they're targeting? I talked to some folks and they said they weren't paying any protection to the Scoonies.
Yeah, they're not criminals per se, not like you or I, but like, they're just a bunch of wayward punks.
Whoa, Isaac.
I never said anything. It's
That's
the
what I
beer,
like to
obviously.
hear.
It's getting to me. Anyway. Well, they are calling for a fight tonight, and I know that at least most of my men are going to that thing. And I'm not sure it's gonna look too good.
Neither do I, frankly. Look, Isaac, I don't know what to say, but these guys, there's something bigger going on with them. They're gonna be packing something that's not fair, and it might not feel honorable or whatever, but if you guys show up, I think something much worse is gonna go down than anybody expects. You seen West Side Story? You know how that one ends?
I'm not that cultured, Lexi.
They have a rumble, it goes south real fast. Everybody thinks the other people are bringing knives, so they bring a bigger knife. Somebody brings a bigger knife, somebody brings a gun. It's a mess.
Yeah,
Best
I
thing
don't
to
know.
do
I don't
is
get
avoid
your
blood
metaphors. But I'm sure the Scoonies can take care of themselves, don't you worry.
I really think you should rethink this. Where's the rumble going down?
The basketball court. But I don't want to
Of course it
see
is.
you there, Lexi, okay? I don't want to be in debt to you and your family.
This would be as a personal favor, Isaac. Nothing more.
I still don't want to see you there. It's gonna get bloody, I'm sure.
Well, then I guess it's best to send men who don't bleed.
I don't really know what that means.
Wouldn't expect you to. Wouldn't
And
expect you to.
he finishes his beer, and he scratches his big, like, furry beard. And then as he steps out of the bar, you watch as he opens the door and the light hits him. And for a brief second, he looks a little less of a man and a little more like, I don't know, something kind of like an imp. Maybe it's the way of the light, maybe it's his tattered clothes. But he looks at you with a wink and heads out the door. Anyone else have any leads they want to follow up on? Don't all speak at once.
I mean, my main lead was just talking to the woo family, so I feel like I'm all sorted there.
Yeah, I was just going to say kind of the same. I think we were going there with the intention of speaking to them, and then we found the other two leads, so.
Okay. Then I'll say we go into a bit of a downtime, a bit of a montage scene of seeing you pacing the town. Do you want to look into the case more? Do you want to potentially find some other information about Kelvin or about the CCC or about Ricci? About Whitecliff in general?
Lexi's interested in information about Ricci.
Okay. How do you want to look into that?
I'm gonna start with looking up her like policy history and what she's campaigned on in the past, as well as any like big changes that she's made to this part of the city, or not made, like failed to deliver.
Okay. Give me 1 sec. Anyone else?
I feel like I would mostly be looking into Whitecliff in general, and but more recently, just the developments more recently, specifically with the Knights Errant. Though I don't know if that overlaps with what Lexi just did. So.
Ami will spend some time on the interwebs, looking up the, 40 under 40, featuring Calvin.
I think probably Lexi is specifically asking for Ami's help looking some of this stuff up. So maybe that's like a partial montage of like the two of them bent over a computer.
Okay. What I'll say, Celine, if you want to, well, I guess I'm using this as a montage scene. So I'm trying to find the cinematic moves. There we are. If each of you want to take one of the downtime activities specifically and let me know what you're doing, and you ask your questions if you need to. I know that Celine, you were looking to work the case and look, or no, sorry, it was Lexi who was looking into City Councillor Ricci, right?
Not necessarily see Councillor Ricci, but like investigate her a little more thoroughly.
I'll give you 3 clues with a method based on you talking to Ami about your investigations, trying her best to look it up on the internet, and I'll give you a description based on your questions you have for your clues.
Okay. What has been Councillor Ricci's like campaign cornerstones?
I'll say that you find some articles online about the kind of the city council position, and City Councillor Ricci has been there for at least a few years, and she keeps saying very similar things like, restoring faith in Whitecliff's local businesses, and restoring City Hall, and bringing more money to the library, and yet year after year she has not delivered, but you can tell that she is kind of in the pocket of some of the richer citizens of the city who might own property in Whitecliff. They might have, business interests as opposed to working for the community.
Okay.
Generally, she is the status quo.
Okay. Anybody got ideas for the other couple of questions? I have 2 more. I guess I wonder, what has anybody been running against her on a platform of change, and like who and how have they done in terms of neighborhood support?
Okay. What you'll find is a agenda for the upcoming debate tonight in City Hall, kind of a general town meeting weekly. And you can tell in the agenda that a citizen of Whitecliff, a Calvin Cyrus, has requested time to discuss the CCC's mission and plans.
Okay. And
so to answer your
there...
question, he is the most likely person to go against City Councillor Ricci.
And then I guess my third question is there any because I know what I know, based on what I know, is there any subtle connection between her and the Scoonies?
I'd say no. Probably not from what you know about the Scoonies. That they are an old as dirt group that's been here for ages, but she does not seem to have any ties with them, politically.
Cool.
What I will say, though, is that you know from your connection to Isaac that they are not necessarily... They're a gang that will, cause trouble when needed, but they almost try their best to look after Whitecliff. Chrissy, you've been a bit quiet for a while. What are you working on? Actually, I know something you've been working on in the last month. Do you want to connect with your contact?
Sure.
This is where the gym is like, aha! A plot point. Okay, let me get to that part of the chapter real quick. You've been working with someone in the junkyard who has been working on a special weapon for you. And, where the heck is her name? Oh, her name is Roxy. She is surprisingly young for a metallurgist, but she's been working on something for you. And what is that?
Yeah, so you guys at one point would probably see Ami attached to her back a very long spear. And on it are two snakes intertwined with some wings connected at the top. And very finely engraved along the shaft of said spear, it would say, "Speak softly and carry a big stick."
What we see in this downtime montage moment is you entering the junkyard, and several people in leather jackets and motorcycle helmets are surrounding you, but you wander in as if you own the place. You walk straight up to a young girl who is working at a forge, and she is covered in dark soot from the fire and from the metal, and she pulls this weapon out from the forge and has it and prepares it for you. And we see a moment where you hold this in your hand for the first time, and a bit of movie magic of the kind of whole scene gets dark, and for the briefest of seconds you look at this thing and we see the snake, and we read the line that runs down the side of it, and you feel a little invigorated as this becomes a part of your Rift persona. And just as confidently as you walked in, you put this thing in your backpack and you walk out of the junkyard.
And I will, as you guys probably would quickly notice, Ami would have some probably uncomfortable bruises or scars on her hands from like practicing with this thing and like trying to learn how to use it appropriately. And inside of the intertwined snakes, there is like a small sliver of what looks like human blood, and it is just consistently dripping out of the fangs of the snakes.
Well then, I like that.
I'm sorry, what?
That's
You're
an
just-
interesting.
You're just wandering around like that?
Yeah. It's her blood. She is connected to this weapon, so it is hers, but it is consistently the snakes, the fangs in the snakes, when you're looking at the caduceus, like the caduceuses there, are going to be just dripping lightly with blood.
As we see a drip of this blood as it falls from your spear, we zoom out a bit as you walk out of the junkyard and see the figure of a large, generally human shape, somewhere in the junkyard. And we watch as the sun hits the horizon and it slowly turns to dusk. What is the rest of the team doing?
Well, I gotta say, I wasn't expecting weapon
take
with
a
the
break.
stigmata going.
What do you guys know so far?
There's a couple things going on, a brawl at a basketball court and a debate going on where the two main people we've been hearing about are going to be at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess one or both of those places would be points of interest.
The Errants are interested in turning Whitecliff into some kind of verdant paradise, but it does mean driving old members of the community out to make way for that new way of being. Whether that's a gang or it's a city councillor, I guess.
I'm going to give you some locations that we have discussed thus far that you can go to if you so desire. That text is black. Let's try this again.
Is this in the chat or?
I'm putting it on the thing in a second.
Okay.
Can Ami try to hack into his email to see if he's connected to the Errants at
Who?
all, this Calvin?
Totally. How are you doing that?
Sweet hacker skills.
Cool. What move do you think that would be?
Hacker skills with a Z.
Xors. What moves? These are good questions.
I think in City of Mist they use Sneak Around to act secretly or deceptively. But that's not helpful. Why don't you either change the game or investigate for me? And what you want to do, I think you probably want to investigate anyway.
Yeah. I'm gonna use some power tags on my mad hacker skills.
Lovely. Skills with a Z.
Did we say investigate or change the game? Which did you prefer?
Investigate.
Check. 14.
Damn, look at you go. You're gonna, on a hit, you're gonna get clues equal to power. You can spend your clues 1-to-1 to ask the MC a question about the subject of your investigation, or ask another player a relevant question about their character.
Okay, question 1. Is Calvin in control of and or part of the Errants? Is he sending them on jobs? That's all the same question.
Yep.
Did you say yes?
1 second.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, well, that was quick. That was a very pointed answer.
You're gonna find that Kelvin, through his emails with the CCC, has been in contact with the Errants on a pretty regular basis.
Check. Okay. Team, any suggestions on 2 other questions? Because that was my main question.
I think I'm interested in what are Calvin / the Errants' long-term goals.
Okay.
Because like we have that in vague but not in detail.
Also, what are their short-term goals? They're just causing random violence. Like, it seems like they're getting involved in gang fights, but like to grow some plants or what? Like, what are they hoping to accomplish with this action, this course of action?
Yeah.
Directly and like right now.
How are you doing that? By hacking Calvin's server?
Yeah, so I will get into his email, and I will see that they are speaking regularly, and I will copy pasta the email address in which he is communicating, and then I will do sick computer hack skills to figure out who that person is, and then I will do all the digging on that person to see who and what they are, and what are they doing and why.
You will find information of several things. You find that he has asked about the let's see what they call it. You see that he has been asking some of the members of the Errants about the Fereydun project, Fereydun project, or Fereydun. You've seen the name Roxy a couple times come up in those conversations. He has also asked about the dragon, and you can tell that they are allocating resources to block the highway barricades which connect Whitecliff to the rest of the city. There is one mention of visiting the lake house, but you don't know what that means.
Hey, can you spell Fereydun?
Fereydun.
Okay.
I will share all of this information with my compatriots, but I will leave out the fact that I know Roxy, or that she's involved.
So,
And then
Potter,
I
what
will say, so where are we going next?
The rumble, correct?
the debate.
Or no? Yeah,
We could
which
send a couple to each.
Yes, one of us definitely set up and go with Chrissy's character. It should be fine.
I mean, I'll go.
But in character, like, if you're not gonna hop in, Father, like, Celine would offer, to go to whichever one you were wanting to go to with you.
I'll go to either. Yeah. Who wants to go to what?
I mean, if someone's gonna go to the brawl, I'll go with them to see if I can help out.
Let's put Lexi out of her element and at a city council meeting, because she did say she wouldn't go.
If you guys would like Ami to also go to the city council meeting, she will do so. But
Okay, I'll go to the brawl so that we're not 3-1. I'll go to the brawl with Father John.
Okay, sounds good. We're breaking it up. Let's see what happens at either of those locations. I will. Someone roll me a D2 or flip a coin. I can't decide which one I'm going to go to first.
2. I choose 2.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that is, but I choose it.
Okay, we're starting with a debate. Let's find good music for this.
I did flip a coin, but I lost it behind my desk.
Classic. It's the way of desks and coins.
No, not that one. We just played that one. Okay, so you arrive at City Hall. The wind blows rain and street trash in the faces of hundreds of Whitecliff residents as they swarm toward the bleak town hall building on the day of the town meeting. Among them, you see cheerful hippie farmers alongside sensible residents who want to keep their homes and businesses safe, their cable TV on, and their processed foods within reach. With the recent developments, it seems inevitable. That City Councillor Ricci would face some harsh criticism and that decisive action would be voted on. It's supposed to be a celebration of people's democratic rights, but you wonder if the choice hasn't already been made for them. What's the point of having the right to vote when you can't even see the forces that shape your decision? You arrive at the town hall. People are busy talking rather loudly. And it's not long before order is called and the debate begins in the town meeting. You see that a young, a middle-aged man is there and seems to be in charge of the CCC. You can tell just from kind of intuition that this is Calvin Cyrus. And he has with him a kind of group of CCC volunteers, as well as kind of general support from the community. You feel kind of surprised when you see Calvin for the first time, because he feels very mundane, and yet he has the support of everyone around him. He just seems to be that guy that everyone just gets, understands. People rally behind him. And so the town meeting begins kind of blandly, and it isn't until later in the meeting when Calvin Cyrus steps up to address the crowd. And I want to know, I'm not going to run this whole thing as a full scene because we don't have enough time for that, but I want to know, whose side are you on? I believe it's Lexi and Ami right now. Whose side are you on? Do you trust Calvin or do you trust Ricci?
Oh god, the honest answer for Lexi is neither.
Okay.
because they are both people putting themselves into positions of power over other people, and that is strictly what she's not about.
Okay. Chrissy?
Yeah, I mean, Ami would probably be listening to this, and while he comes off as fairly mundane, appears to be the person actually making change and trying to do good, rather than just kind of being bought out. So she would probably be like, oh, this guy seems to make some fucking sense here.
Okay. Do you take a chance to speak for him or not?
Speak for him or to him?
On his behalf. For his side of the debate.
Oh, Ami probably would not do that because she's not a person who lives in this town.
Okay.
So, like, this part of town. So she probably wouldn't want to have too much to say about, like, yeah, you should totally follow this guy.
This will go pretty quickly. You can tell as the debate goes on that a larger portion of this community seems to be rallying behind Calvin Cyrus, who seems to be a very good guy who understands the needs and wants of the community, and he asks for a vote to oust current City Councillor Ricci and instead take on her position, which obviously stirs up the pot, but swiftly the town votes, and they have decided to get rid of Eleanor Ricci, and Calvin takes his place as the new city councillor for Whitecliff.
Would there be any opportunity within this to basically say you shouldn't switch the person immediately, you should hold an election?
This basically ends up being the election, but if you want to stand up and ask for it, you can.
Yeah, a more protracted election is basically what Lexi is going to propose, because there are probably many members of the community who are capable of taking on a leadership position, who haven't had time to prepare their thoughts or their campaigns.
Okay. What I will say that this particular scene is based on a swing spectrum of if you can get more of the community to sway the community to to vote with Ricci versus against Ricci. And so if you want to try to sway them one way or the other, you can. But otherwise, they will overwhelm your vote.
What I really want is a third option where both of them have to cooperate with one another. Which is maybe something that this scene is not set up for in the campaign. I'm okay being swept under the rug in my desperate attempts to
We'll say in character though that you
down.
do in fact try your best to call for reasonable political procedure, but the community is too far swayed against Councillor Ricci, and instead they've decided to ask for her resignation, and Calvin takes a place as the interim city councillor. This is where we'll end this scene, but we switch, kind of zoom out from the town hall as people are rallying behind their new ruler, quote unquote, their new councillor. And we will instead go across town where John and Celine are approaching the basketball court as it starts to get very dark. And when you get there, you find that the battle has already begun between the Scoonies and the Errants. And they come in riding motorcycles with thick leather jackets and visors for their motorcycles, so motorcycle helmets that have big skulls in the front, and they cover their face entirely. But the two gangs are already battling it out on the basketball court. Do you, either of you, attempt to break this up or talk to either side?
I don't know, Celine, what do you think?
How do these things usually go? And by the way, Celine is very much wearing she continues her sporting clothes because they were going to a rumble at a basketball court.
She got changed just for the rumble.
She looks straight out of the Beretta London clothing catalog for the fall season.
Wearing your battle Lululemon?
For some reason, I expect her to look like Black Widow for some reason.
It's the kind of sporting clothes that people wear when they go and hunt big game. You know, not the other kind of sporting.
Like a fox hunt, you're wearing like jodhpurs, high boots, and
similar, but yes, that is what I'm wearing. How do these things go? Should we break it up, or is one to emerge the victor and then we parlay with them?
How many people exactly are we looking at?
Let's see. I'm gonna say like 10 from each side. The Scoonies are all pretty short individuals who seem to come and go, disappear, and blend into the surroundings. They're good at the kind of sneaking and hiding, whereas the Errants are pretty loud and dangerous.
Can I try to like peer through the mist as I see this going on to see if there might be something more afoot between the two groups?
You're looking for if there's something more.
Yeah, peer through the mist.
Oh yes, please do.
Alright, is that an investigation or is that a cinematic?
That is I believe it's in your, what's it called? It's in Roll20. Look Beyond the Mist is a move you can look at. When you reach inside to get in touch with your mythos, you can feel the truth behind things without even knowing how. Play it out like the Investigate move, but roll plus mythos instead. On a hit, you get clues equal to your number of mythos you have.
So, +1 mythos. That's an 8, mild success.
Okay. On Investigate, you get a you get clues equal to power, so you can ask me one question. On 7-9, I'm gonna choose one of the options that kind of is the mixed part of the mixed success. What do you want to know?
Is there something more mystical going on here between these two groups?
Okay. You can tell that the Scoonies are in fact themselves definitely some kind of rift group. They've all been touched by some kind of impish-like kind of energy, and that's why they're pretty short in all. They have strange spikes that come out from their faces, and they're all kind of hunched in short, strange clothes that are kind of ruffled. They have makeshift spears and bows on all of them. Whereas the Errants look like young medieval knights clad in armor. Their baseball bats are shining lances, and their off-road bikes are gallant steeds. They are, let's see. You can tell that they are touched as well. They are not rifts themselves, but you can't be sure what they have been touched by, because it seems as soon as you try to look at them closer, the mist shifts around them.
And it's not like the same kind of vibe I was getting from the cult. Like it's not like they've taken that aspect. It's just kind of something that's about them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shifting around them. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that's a. Like I don't know if you see exactly what I'm seeing in the what these folks truly are, but there's obviously some mistouched shenanigans going on between these two.
It definitely seems to be a recurring theme in all things that we investigate.
The Scoonies look a bit like those gremlins. You ever see gremlins? Mogwai, don't eat after midnight. Don't get them wet.
I'm sorry, I don't read comics.
Yeah, don't worry. These others look like knights, which Crusaders aren't exactly the greatest thing. Believe me, I know. I'm Catholic, so I don't know if that's something that's just fueling it, but there's a bit more to this than originally met the eye. But there's 20 of them and 2 of us. I don't know exactly how those odds work and what your thoughts on this is.
I mean, we could attempt to distract them and parlay, or join in an attempt to even the odds.
The longer you wait as you're discussing this, the more you realize that the Errants are very quickly taking the lead, and some of the Scoonies have already started to flee the scene.
Okay, but real talk, like, we not want to side with the knights, or is these gremlins are they the honorable ones in the stories? I haven't read this. I don't know.
You know more than I do that looks are deceiving when it comes to matters of the mist. So honestly, I don't know if I trust either side. Because no matter what, at the end of the day, they're gangs that are doing something in this town.
Well,
I could also call the cops.
Distraction and break it up then?
I've had 911 dialed on my phone this whole time. I just need to press one more button to get the cops here.
I expect that the cops wouldn't arrive anytime soon, at least in a way that we would need them to. We are here. I say we step in.
They talk to them, or?
Yeah, no, I'm actually going to, and I've done this before, where I actually form my bracelet into a flamethrower, and I'm just gonna fire it up into the sky, and it is very loud and very bright.
Okay.
GM.
What are you trying to do with this? You trying to distract them? Or you trying
Get them
to
to just stop fighting, because I feel like they're both fighting and engrossed in the violence.
Okay.
So a little bit, sometimes a good shock or distraction is all you need to stop the mob mentality, so I'm gonna try and do that.
This sounds vaguely like you're trying to convince them to stop, so why don't you roll for me?
Okay.
See if you can get them to stop doing what you're doing.
Okay. Absolutely.
Make sure you clear your power tags and add any relevant ones.
Yeah.
And they definitely have that night vibe that you're all about going for them.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. All I got for that. So I'm doing convince.
Yep.
Oh, 11.
Excellent. You watch as one of the Errants in the middle all of a sudden sees your bright flash, and kind of all around them, when he stops, so does everyone else. When they stop, some of the Scoonies decide to scurry away, but there's still a small number of them who are standing to fight. One of the Errants looks at you and says, "What are you doing here?"
Was hoping we could talk.
The time to talk has passed.
Could we convince you otherwise? You can continue with your violence if you're not interested after we have a short discussion.
What is it you want?
I'm gonna glance over for you to engage in conversation with us, and just kind of glance over at Father John to see if he has any brilliant ideas.
I mean, we're just trying to figure out what the hell's going on here, to be honest. You guys show up on motorcycles, these guys show up just looking raggedy as hell. It doesn't seem like a fair fight. Honestly, I don't know what the hell you're fighting about. But you are in a public place, so...
We are
not
Errants.
exactly being
We are
subtle.
here to fight the Crimson King. And to do that, we must make a place for ourselves in Whitecliff. The Albion will awaken.
Crimson King. I look at... Do we know the Crimson King? Is that what's his face? Is that Payne?
No idea. I also
Who's the Crimson
I also
King?
mentioned and the Albion.
The Crimson King is the king that rules the city. He is the one that we must fight against, and he is the one which controls the city. As you are watching, we see that the vote has just taken place, and Calvin is climbing the steps up to the podium to take place of Ricci. And in that moment, you watch as the basketball court shifts and changes subtly. It all kind of fades for a second, and Celine, you'll notice it first as the area around you shifts in a way that the wall that you saw surrounding the community garden starts to appear in front of you as if it's always been there. The basketball court turns into kind of fades, and you see something looks more akin to a jousting tournament like setup with stands and everything. And the whole area seems to shift in a way that reminds you of like medieval Europe. The area around you, the pavement streets have shifted into dirt paths, and in the distance you can see that the garden has grown even larger. And so, sorry, I need to look up the wording that they would use for this. The whole world has kind of become pastoral in a way that feels a little bit relaxing, a little idyllic. And so the area of Whitecliff has shifted into a kind of hills and valleys style world. And as it does, you start to see what John was seeing, that the Errants look like they are starting to resemble knights on steeds. Their horses are decked out in colors, and they are wearing what looks to be real armor in front of you. And one of them turns to you and says, "Albion is the kingdom that we seek to establish here. And as soon as Lancelot is done, we will prevail over the precinct against the evil knights, and we will own Albion entirely."
So, this Crimson King you're referring to, Does he happen to go by Corbin Payne by chance?
I know not this name.
And who is this Lancelot, and done with what?
You will see shortly. And with that, he's going to take his his once makeshift sword, now looks glittering like Excalibur, and he is going to bash one of the last remaining Scoonies over the head.
Glittering like Excalibur? How?
Well, Excalibur in a sword form looks like a beautiful kingly sword, and so this looks very medieval sword-like.
But does it seem like mistily formed, or just a sword that's very shiny?
It looks like it is somehow related to his mythos, but does not look like it is, I can't think of the word, transformed like your Excalibur does.
Okay, very good.
It just resembles that kind of medieval aesthetic.
Okay.
And with that, the rest of the Scoonies are going to hurry off, and the Errants have prevailed here. I'm going to put us on a short break, just 5 minutes this time. I just need to go to the restroom, and we'll be back shortly for the finale of this episode. See you all soon. Hello, and welcome back to Madness Calls It Forth. Last we left our adventurers, the Calvin Cyrus, the man who is supporting Whitecliff, has rise to the rank of City Councillor, and the Errants have defeated the Scoonies in a tumble out on the skirts of town, and slowly the Albion is rising as the town becomes something akin to a castle for a king. We were watching as our adventurers approach the junkyard, the part of town they were told to avoid at all costs. Somewhere that we've seen, obviously, Ami has visited before. And at first glance, the junkyard looks like it was taken over by overgrown kids. Along the perimeter fence towers a 10-foot wall of stacked debris and abandoned rusty metal scrap. At the gate, 2 shipping containers stand on their heads, serve as guard towers, watching over the passageway blocked by a welded steel grate. On the ramparts, metal platforms and half-barrels with arrow slits make for defensible positions. Against the sullen gathering of clouds, a lone tattered red flag flutters. It's not quite Camelot, but it will hold.
So we've all kind of met up here then? Alright. So what, do we tell them to take us to their leader, or?
Ami will walk in.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, apparently follow the kid.
Direct
Yeah.
approach. Let's go.
Lexi will hit John and be like, adult.
Right.
And Ami will take them to Roxy to see if we can get in touch with Calvin.
Okay. You can see that Roxy is kind of cleaning up her space, ready to leave the day since it's getting pretty late. She is actually a 10-year-old girl, but she is a whiz with the forge. So, what'd you come back for?
Come back?
You've been here before?
It's perfect, isn't it? I told you I could do it.
You killed it. Look at it. And she will point at the snakes, which would probably have been a newer addition to when it was forged.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't know what you did or why you didn't let me do it, but I like it.
Thanks. We're trying to get in touch with Calvin.
Calvin. He should be coming back soon, I think. I'm gonna be heading out, but he's probably gonna be rallying the troops soon, I assume.
For what?
I'm almost done with the Lancelot project.
What
What is the Lancelot project?
I don't know, can I trust you?
Perhaps.
I mean,
Can I trust you?
we're friends of Ami.
Well, fine, okay. She's gonna turn around. She's gonna say, well, okay, I need help finishing it. If you can help me finish it, I'll see if I can get you in contact with Kelvin, okay?
What do you need from us?
You'll see, don't you worry. And
Ominous.
she's gonna lead you down into the further into the junkyard, and it's going to appear kind of all at once this towering Goliath of what looks like cobbled together a giant knight with a shield and a sword, made entirely of metal and junk from around the junkyard.
I'm sorry, are we powering up the Megazord? What the hell is this?
I call him Ferritin. He's he's a special weapon for the Errants.
You just made a Gundam. Cool.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Ami showed me.
She will raise her eyebrow at you, Ami.
I will do the same back.
Listen, I'm gonna turn it on, and I need you to give him a bit of training. Think that that spear of yours can do any good against it?
I can give it a shot.
How many pieces should it be left in?
Well, preferably one. It'll be you that you gotta worry about. She gives you like a cocky smile, like she knows that it's pretty good, that she believes in her work pretty well.
Lexi's gonna shoot the same smile back.
Let me grab its thing. Hold on. Okay. She is going to grab something and do a little bit of work on the back of it before it's going to power up to life. You're going to see that it's in a glow and a kind of golden light, and the T on its helmet is going to glow like it has eyes. And actually, you know what? Because I like this, I'm going to do it anyway. Lancelot is a 10-foot tall war golem, and it's going to stand on two legs and rise up above you before it raises its sword and goes in for a strike. Who's going to be the first to react?
I guess John.
Me. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. What are you doing?
John's gonna jump in and try and block the attack. He holds up his left hand, and like as it comes towards him, there's a bright flash from his wedding ring that he's wearing.
Okay.
That kind of like there's like a brief shimmer of like a shield. Like the brief is kind of shimmer, like it's there but not there.
Cough, cough, shield of faith. What?
Hey, I got a +3 item. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay, that works. So what is this item of yours that you are going to be adding?
I think it's just gonna be something that'll help him with like facing danger more defensive than.
So it'll
offensive.
always be kind of the ring protects you in some way, like a shield would.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Mark that on your character sheet somewhere.
I feel like we've got a lot of offense.
Yeah, let's
so
go for it.
Maybe I can drop some defense.
You're gonna face danger against, let's see what it is. It's gonna come in for you with a giant sword. You're gonna be facing up against Broken Ribs 3 as it smacks into you.
Okay.
If you could roll to face danger with any relevant tags. +3 for your Shield of Faith. I'm just gonna keep calling it that until you
That's fine.
tell me a name for it.
The Ring of Betrothal.
How about just Heart Shield?
I like it. I forgot how good this music was.
All right, I'm
You
gonna
guys need to go
add,
back to the bowl. That was a fun place to narrate.
Endure any punishment, can't take my life and soul, nothing to lose, and devil may care.
Lovely. You're gonna succeed anyway, but try to roll it for me.
14.
Lovely. On a success, you fend off the effect to take no status at all. It's going to come hurling down towards you, and as you hold up your fist, it's going to slam into you and just push you while still standing to the side. And you're going to look up at it, and you have not even been scratched. Chrissy, did you say you wanted to do something?
Nope, Luca did.
Oh, Luca, let's do it.
But I was kind of just reacting, so Father John jumped in, so like I feel like I'm kind of.
Celine, you now have the spotlight. What do you want to do?
I mean, what's girl doing? Like, why is this thing being sicked on us?
She is asking you to train Lancelot.
I'm going to just step back and just look at her and just say, I'm sorry, but we were actually hoping to talk to your boss first, the leader. Is this something... okay.
I told you, lady. I don't know if I can trust you, but if you can fend yourself against Lancelot, I'll find him for you.
I am going to form my bracelet into a large anti-aircraft missile and fire it at this thing's head.
Okay, sounds good to me. You were definitely hitting with all you've got, so go ahead and add any appropriate tags.
Be any weapon. Okay. Yeah, let's go. A 13.
Excellent. On a 10 plus, you're going to choose 2 of the items below. You take cover or secure a superior position. You get them good, get many of them. You control the collateral damage. You hold the target's attention, or you gain the upper hand and take 1 juice. What do you
I
want?
get them good.
Okay. And the second one?
Superior position.
Where are you gonna land?
I want it on its back.
Okay.
Like off of its feet.
How much power did you have for this roll?
Superior position is 3. Superior position is basically it is prone and we are not.
Okay. So that's going to be 4 because you wanted to get it good. And you're going to give it a status of what?
Broken.
That works. So what happens is where you describe what this looks like and what breaks off of this thing.
Yeah, it's gonna look like Celine looking back at the girl and like looking at everyone, just like, yeah, sure, we'll do this right now, and then just forming this thing, and blowing this thing's face in so it lands prone, like out of the training simulation. And I will just look at her and say, "So sorry. We can absolutely work on this more, but meanwhile, we have much more far-reaching issues to take care of."
As you say that, something's going to unlatch itself from the case that creates Lancelot, and several guns are going to stick up out of it, pointed towards you. And it's going to fire off at you. Celine, please roll to face danger against a blast wound 3.
Okay. 11.
Okay. You don't take any damage. How are you getting away from this thing?
Sidestepping. It's a huge gun. Like, I am more agile and smaller than this thing. I will absolutely just sidestep out of harm's way.
Okay. Because it's on its back now, it's gonna reach out for you, Ami, with one of its spiky hands and try to grab you in its clutches. If you could roll go toe-to-toe with me, their goal is to try to grab you.
Okie doke. 12.
Y'all rowing real high these days. Yeah. You get out of their way real quick, and it snatches in a loud clack as it tries to grab you. And with that, a man with short, dark hair is going to approach you from the entrance of the junkyard and say, "Come on, Roxy, that's enough." And she's gonna look back at him, just come on. And she's gonna grab quite literally like a little hot pink backpack and walk off towards the entrance as she's mumbling about, I thought I had him that time. And two of you recognize this man. This is Calvin Cyrus as he wanders into the junkyard and just says, "Looks like you can hold your own."
Oh yeah, no, we do this shit all the time. Giant robots. That's our specialty.
I assume that's a joke, but I don't know why you're so good at what you do. And he'll put out a hand towards you, Celine, since you're the closest. I do apologize for her. She's got a wild imagination. Calvin Cyrus, what can I do for you?
It's a pleasure to meet you. We came across, I believe, some of your order engaged in violence with another party, and we were just wondering why this has been happening so frequently and what we can do about it to work together on this.
I'll be honest with you.
Our main priority, of course, is the safety of the citizens of this city.
I'm sure it is. And that is my goal as well. But you wouldn't be here if you weren't special. Like me. I have a certain aura that gets people to follow me, to trust in me. And I want to use that, the best of my ability, to do some good in this society. But, I don't know how much you know about the city, the truth of the city.
Well, we heard some of your followers mention a Crimson King, and we might
Oh, that means I
know
can
of
I can avoid some lengthy conversations about that. Someone controls the city, and we call him the Crimson King because trying to say his real name has been rough, but he controls the city with an iron fist and makes everyone in it suffer. That's why I started the CCC, and that's why I think I can do some good in this city if we can fight against the Crimson King. The wretched man has a grip on this city, and he must be taken down. You must understand that. All of this is all in hope that one day we might be able to fight and win against him. But he is far stronger than anyone here. An evil like that man should not be allowed to rule the city. I
So
do
is
hope
this-
you'll join me in my quest.
Oh, let's ask, because it sounds like enemy of my enemy at this point. This Crimson King, does he go by a different name, possibly of a certain founder of parts of the city?
I don't think I need to tell you that you are correct.
Well,
What's the angle after he's done?
I don't have an angle. I'm here to help Whitecliff. To take him down is my number one priority. If he is gone, then Whitecliff thrives, but so does the entire city. I hope you understand that. He causes
I'm just-
pain everywhere. I lost someone to him a long time ago.
I'm just not looking to replace one king with another. And she'll hold out her hand.
I understand that. A ruler must be trustworthy. And if there is a ruler at all, it should be the people, don't you think?
That's something I can definitely agree to.
What I'll say is this seems like a great place to kind of end this episode as the two of you shake your hands. I have a little bit of an epilogue that I'd like to go through, but I think this is one of our last scenes before the credits at the end of the show. And we'll obviously learn more about Calvin Cyrus in the upcoming episodes. Why don't you go in overlay order, starting with Lukalak. Tell us about you and what you're doing in the next couple of weeks, about what your character is thinking, and any last comments or narration.
Hi, I'm Lukalak, and I'm playing with Clean. And over the next few weeks, I feel like I would try and engage in as much conversation as I could with Calvin. Trying to get to know him, his order, what his plans are, really get kind of the measure of him.
Mm-hmm.
And also at some point, I am going to have to find out exactly what he intends for the businesses and things like that in this part of the city. Because at some point I will have to report back to my grandmother on things, and that will probably not go well for me.
Are you in anything coming up?
Oh yeah, if we're doing the actual sign-offs right
Yes,
now,
yes,
I'm
yes.
actually on vacation for the next little while. I'm going down south to Westworld, and the signal, as we know, in Westworld is kind of spotty. They messes with the immersion But then I am back on the 12th for Harper's Variants on Tuesday. So that's it for me coming up anytime soon.
Yeah, that's me next. Sorry, forgot.
You're good.
I go next. I'm Christy Kritz. I played Ami Ortelia. And she's gonna be playing with her new toy, trying to get used to it, being its friend, things like that. Probably will also have some conversations with Calvin, probably more so with Roxy. We'll probably attempt to help her fix fix Lancelot to some degree. And where else can you find me? This is the start of the busy week that is lovingly called Module Week. Tomorrow, you'll see me back here again for Oath Sworn, and then again on Thursday for Queen's Gambit. And then so on and so forth throughout the rest of the month and various things. Many of which I can't remember. That's all. Next.
Vermin, you're next.
Hey everybody, I'm Legendary Vermin. You can find me as Legendary Vermin on all the places on the internet that matter, which is of course Itch, Twitch, and Twitter. I am currently looking forward next Wednesday, April 13th. You can find me here for Hubris of Man. And then Saturday, April 16th, you can find me over at Neon Lights Roleplay doing Against the Light. For all the games that I'm in, I love to do big fun costumes, and those two have some of the biggest and funnest. If you're ever curious what's going on with me, you can go to legendaryvermin.com/live and find my streaming schedule. I think with your permission, Chrissy, I think what Lexi would be doing, seeing that you have a fancy new spear, is she would be being like, hey, do you want to spar with that? And if that's cool, I think we would get some scenes of like me fighting you with your spear, but I have a big length of rebar. If that's cool.
I mean, she would probably try it, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, the weapon, the relic itself is pretty intense, so she would probably not really
I like
try
this,
that
though.
hard.
Let's say, actually, though, that we see one scene where you try to fight Lexi, and something clicks, and you start going harder than you should. What does it look like when you overpower someone with this new relic? We can just get a little glimpse of the power, not the full of it, but give us something juicy.
Yeah, so you would probably see Ami to some degree. It would do two things. It would, similarly to Thor's hammer, always return to her no matter where she was at. So no matter what you were doing, it would be on her person. So there is no real way to remove it from her. So in those moments when you think you're going to like rip it from her, even if you remove it, it is a very quick snatch back, in a probably unnaturally strong way. And there would probably be a few moments where you would see, if you were close enough, the snakes, where they're normally just kind of like dripping little bits of blood every once in a while. There is just blood running down the staff, and Ami seems to be kind of empowered by it.
Okay. Lastly, Ikash. Wait, no. Did we skip Bourbon? Did we say where you were doing? Oh, yeah. Let us know what you're good. Okay. Ikash.
Hey folks, Ikash the Orc here. I guess really the only other thing I've got going on right now other than madness is I'm also in Harper's Variants. You can check out my my interesting fellow as we jump into the next reality. If you caught the last episode, if not, go watch it. It's out on YouTube, and you can also find it in the archives on Twitch, I assume. But definitely going to be interesting to check out, and you'll see me there. Otherwise, that's kind of it. Otherwise, sometimes I'll find my way sneaking into other shows, but mostly if you're curious about me, you can find me as Ikashi Orc on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, and most importantly on the Discord. So if you're not there, join and just see me crafting quality farm fresh memes for your enjoyment.
I've been Proper Nerdy. I've been your game master for the evening. I just got new art for myself over there. So thank you to Mel the Honeybee who made all the art for the game. I'm a game master. I'm a game designer as well. Check out my stuff on Itch. Thank you, the person who just posted the TPK Master Collection in chat. And recently we just finished a playtest of Cataclysmal, a story about saviors, a game that's still in production, but you can find that on my Itch page and check out the YouTube that just posted about it. Before we move on, we'll be back in 4 weeks. But time for a short epilogue. This takes place during one of the scenes with Celine and with Corbin Payne. Sorry, with Corbin Payne. With Calvin Cyrus. So many C names. You have a meeting where you discuss things, and it seems like he is really starting to convince you of his work fighting against Corbin Payne. And as you leave the room, another woman steps into view from one of the other spots in the meeting hall that you were meeting. She is a beautiful, gorgeous woman with long robes that kind of melt into the floor. And she smiles at Calvin. And as quickly as she appears, she sinks back into the background and disappears. As if stepping into a lake and disappearing beneath the waves. In the last moments before the screen fades to black, Calvin pulls out from his wallet an old photo in black and white and looks at it. It's a picture of what looks like upper teens girl, but you can't see the face. Something has scorched this photo, and on the bottom of the photo is what used to be a name has been smudged all the way along it. And Calvin Cyrus carefully folds the photograph, puts it back into his wallet, and locks the door behind him before he leaves the CCC building and walks off into the night. And just as the moon comes out from behind a cloud, we see a golden crown glinting on his head before the scene is filled with mist and fades to black. Good night, everyone.